What's up, everybody? So today's video basically is just going to be me asking some questions to the Genshin community that I'm curious about personally for the, future of Genshin, and some things that people may have thought of already or don't care about or whatever. Maybe it's been addressed by other people, but I'm a newer player, so I have all these thoughts that I just want to know how people feel. Question number one, basically, you know, do you think it would be cool for them to implement that the Statue of Seven always heals you? Like, no matter what, you could have just 5 HP missing, and over you use it to where normally the juice would be out, and then but instead you're in co-op, 4 people, everybody keeps getting hurt, and instead of cooking dishes they keep sapping from your Statue of Seven, and usually it runs out after a while, but instead it just continues to heal you permanently. I feel like that's not that crazy, right? I guess you could go fight monsters and then use a healer and heal your team back up, but that's more time taken away from what you wanted to do, right? From doing whatever you intended to log on and do. So I don't know. I think it would be cool if the Statue of Seven always healed you permanently no matter what, and it never ran out. And question number two is going to be, the blacksmith, Master Zhang, um, he sells like weapons, right? And they're 2-star weapons, but I wanted to know, like, do they change? I've never bought any. Like, not even when I was my first or second week of Genshin and I didn't have any great weapons, no gotcha weapons, anything. I never bought any of them. At the very bottom, it says they refresh, but I wanted to know if you buy them all and then they're out of stock, do they just refresh the same weapons, or do they change? Are they also 2-star weapons, or do they go up in degree? Are they becoming 3-star weapons after that? Like, I asked because, yeah, there's gotcha weapons and we can craft weapons, but like, what if they included like 1 or 2 from him to sell that were pretty decent to use, and you had to grind to get it, kind of like you fish for the catch, and you only get 1 catch. Maybe he sells something that there's only 1 of, and you have to grind some kind of way to get it. Or they can keep it as Mora and you just spend Mora, but it'll probably be more expensive if it's actually a decent weapon. But I don't know. I think that would be a fun like enhancement to benefit the game, rather than him keeping like lower tier weapons that nobody uses throughout the whole thing. When you've been AR-10 versus all the way to AR-50, the weapons don't change or whatever. Like, I don't know, because could it really hurt if they added more 4 or 3-star weapons that are more free to play friendly, and maybe he's one of the people that holds one of them that you can get, instead of if you miss an event, like how I'm still salty about the Cinnabar Spindle, or the Fish Lord weapon or whatever for Chongyun, or any of those other people that can hold it. Question number 3. Okay, this one's about resin. So, do you guys think that they should up the cap on resin, or maybe add some kind of resin happy hour? Like maybe when you spend resin during certain hours on certain days, maybe the weekend, so that it's more fair because people have jobs and things like that. You get double the distribution, like kind of like the double ley line crops, but or maybe make it weekly or something. I don't know. But do you believe they should enhance the speed of the refresh rate? Instead of 21 hours, maybe maybe it takes 12 instead of 21 hours for the full 160 resin to reload back, instead of maybe like the happy hour idea I had, or instead of raising the number from 160 to maybe like 180 or 200, instead of raising it, maybe they change the time it takes to reload. Or do you just want them to increase it from 160 to higher, just like in general, just like, okay, I would be okay if it was like 240 or something. Like, maybe you have a specific number that you've calculated that you think, based upon the time that you play, would be fair. What do you think? I'm just curious, Back to the crafter of Master Zhang. Do you think when you are crafting mystical enhancement ore that they should raise the cap for how many you can do in a day? Like, let's say you've been grinding for weeks and you've been farming all of the crystal chunks and all of the other ores that you can turn it into, and you've saved yourself a bunch so that you can make a bunch, because you've been raising a bunch of weapons. Let's say you've wished a lot and got a lot of good weapons, but now you don't have as many mystic enhancement ore, and you're out here wishing you can like craft 200 a day or something, and you can't. Do you think they should raise the cap, or do you have any other ideas that they can implement to make that different? And do you think that the magical crystal chunk should use resin to make mystical enhancement ore? Like, I kind of feel like the magical crystal chunk should just be by itself to craft. So because resin is like the most finite resource, it's the most important resource. Like, why is it resin plus magical crystal chunk, which don't even spawn as much as the crystal chunks, to craft for something that we want to like upgrade our weapons with? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Okay, so the fourth question's something that I thought of the other day. It's probably not something that anybody really truly cares about. Most people probably don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it, but I just thought maybe it would be cool. So here's what it is. You're using a pyro character, right? Maybe you're standing on top of grass and you light up that grass and now it's fire underneath you. I think it would be cool if someone like Bennett, who literally smacks the ground with his fist, or Diluc, who is swinging like, you know, heavy swordery or whatever, causes the pyro to react to the grass, right? Or soon the dendro. And they don't take damage from the pyro that's like underneath them because they caused it. And technically, you know, they have fire already burning on their bodies usually. Like, Diluc's holding a sword that is literally fire and he's not getting hurt from that. You know what I mean? Or Bennett, he literally smacks the ground with pyro and then he's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that tingles. Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It would be cool if the pyro character that inflicted the pyro on the surface of whatever you're standing on doesn't take damage. And then if you switch to a hydro character, cryo character, whatever, yes, their health will slowly like tick, whatever. And I know you're like, that's kind of irrelevant maybe because they don't really use that much damage. But it has happened to me once or twice where I had a character that was low HP and I threw Bennett's circle down so that they can stand in it and heal. And the second they touched the circle of Bennett, because they were hit with the pyro application, they died before they could heal. That has happened to me like once or twice. Freak accident, yes. That's my own problem probably. Maybe other people have never encountered that. Maybe I need to just not get my health low before I do that kind of move. But I think it would be cool. Like a just random like tidbit factor that they've added in for no reason. Just, I don't know. Okay, so fifth question, if they never tweaked the resin system, right? What if they made overworld bosses, you know, the hypostasis, any of the people that are for essential materials, the flowers, instead of 40 resin, what if they became 30 or even 20 like the domains? Do you think that would be fair? So that way, since we still only have 160 resin and people that are end game and they're got crazy amounts of people that they're trying to raise and stuff, and they don't have the time because they are not going to put money in to get more resin, they have more ability to raise them and use them faster if they cut the resin cost. Now I know they do that for the weekly bosses to 30, but you only get to do it for 3, whereas you fight probably more often the overworld to raise the character from 1 to 80 or 1 to 90 way more often, collect all those materials, and 40 you only get to fight it 3 times. So I don't know. Well, I meant 4 times.
Stupid.
Bad math. 4 times. The next question is about visual. Would you like to see every character, no matter 4-star or 5-star, have at least like 3 outfits? Maybe they're regional outfits. Maybe they have winter coats for Dragon Spine and things like that. You know, maybe some of them get hats. Maybe them get different color shoes or whatever, or a whole different like wardrobe where, you know, like Diluc got his new outfit, right? But that tied to the lore and the story. But maybe after a while, after a bunch of stories come out, every character has different outfits, maybe 3 to 5, and maybe some of them you can customize in some way. I don't know. Would you enjoy that? Do you think that would be cool? Like, do you only think 5 stars should be getting more outfits than 4 stars? Like, do you think there should be like a difference between it? Like, do you think that 5 stars maybe get an animation with their outfit, 4 stars don't? Um, I personally would like if every single character had a cool skin or outfit or whatever you want to call it, and at least 2 or so. Not saying I don't like the ones that we already have; they look awesome. I'm totally a person that likes all the designs of the characters. Um, but I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, what do you think? Do you think if the Traveler got a buff that you would use them more? And I know that's vague, like a buff how, but if they became a very strong 5 star type of character, and I don't know what that would entail, if they would have to just change the damage numbers or multipliers or whatever, or if that would mean a whole new move set that didn't exist, or I don't know how they would do that. But hypothetically, like, stay with me, if like the Traveler just became kind of amazing, you know, that could rival maybe um, utility in a lot of teams, almost half as good as Bennett and Kazuha can. Like something like that, where they can be used in a bunch of comps, and it was very fun to see them be used and not feel useless. I'm not saying that they are useless, but you know, a lot of people feel that way. Um, would you use them more? And do you think that the travelers talents should just stay once you've raised them? Like, if you switch to an element, do you think that it should still reset? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that you've done all the work to make your Traveler have, you know, 7 talents, and then they wipe because you switch it to another element? Do you think that they should stay across the board, so that way once all the regions are out, and once you've had the Traveler of every flavor, you know, and you've raised the talents of each one to like 8 or so, that you get to keep them all, and that means you always have a character of every element with a talent that's high, especially if you crown them, you get to keep it, you know? I think that would be nice. The 8th question is, which Sumeru character are you most excited for? Hmm? The 9th question, are you hyped for the strong box? The strong box is going to be a game changer. Like, farming domains less for specific drops and just using the bad ones for all those other ones that we never had before. I'm hyped. Like, you know, I have the worst luck with Crimson and Viridescent. I've gotten so many Maiden Beloveds instead of the Viridescents that I wanted. Not even talking about getting a Viridescent and the main stat is wrong. It's not Elemental Mastery. It's not a 5-star. No, I'd be getting... It drops me 4 Maiden Beloveds, like, a lot. And no Viridescent. And I'm like, oh, yes. Lovely. I love it. It hurts. Number 10. Are you having a good day? Are you having a good week? Like, I hope you are. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back to my channel and let me know about your thoughts, questions, ideas in the comments. All right. Have a great day. Drink water. Thanks for watching.